What's up, everybody? It's Jonah here again. I'm with Anton, Sam, and Charlie, and we are going to be tearing down my two 65-gallon tanks and getting a 250-gallon today in a trade that I found on Facebook Marketplace. So we will be building a stand, getting that new tank here, and getting all my fish transferred over and keep them in bids in the process. So we'll see how it goes. Here are the two tanks. As you can see, the fish are really outgrowing them. I have the silver arowana in here. I have the pacu, jaguar, cichlid, oscar, peacock bass, and some other little fish. Some of them probably aren't going to end up in the final tank once it's done, but they will be getting torn down. The fish will be going in these bins, and we will go from there. As you can see, we have this bin filled up with water from this tank. All the fish have been transferred. Didn't want to do any of the boring stuff, like show you how we constantly fought to catch them with no success because they're fast. But they are all in here. You can see we got the pacu there, the kwee, there's a peacock bass down under that rock, and everything else is more or less too dark to see. Now we're going to start draining this one into this bin, also with a filter. We just have running off another power strip right there in the back, and we will soon be on the way. This is the only fish we're going to document the netting for, just because he is the coolest and the most valuable. And we're going to see how well he wants to cooperate. I'm trying my best not to stress him out, but it's not going to work.
Wait till he turns. There you go. That's probably the smoothest it could have gone.
So we got just about everything drained out of that other tank. As you can see, we have the arowana in this bin, and the bin is warping a little more than we would like it to, so we will be reinforcing that very quickly. We got the filters running, all fish are in the tanks. We're going to continue draining this one, and then we will be on the way. All right, guys, I'm back. As you can see, my room is an absolute disaster right now. I pulled the cover off the bed. Now it's just down to the mattress protector. The new tank will be coming through this window, and as you can see, we have an open wall. This will be cleaned up. So next is going to be pick up the tank, buy some wood and a new saw, because in the last video, that last one didn't work out and I returned it. So we will see how it goes. We're in the Home Depot. We are getting the wood. We are fully loaded. Got this off the cart. Hopefully these stay in. We are going to strap them down. But we have both tanks just chilling in the back of the truck. And we're going to see how it goes. So we went and got the tanks, and they weren't the same dimensions the guy said. As you can see, they're really short. It's about 14 inches. So the arowana will not be going in this tank, sadly. I think the only dimension he got right was the length. But because of the issues, he actually had 3 of these, and he gave me 2 of them for the trade. I thought about switching back to the old tanks, but then I'd be exactly where I was 2 hours ago. So I decided to go for it, and now I'm just going to build a stacked assembly, and now I can do a reef tank on top or some form of saltwater, and I can keep my bigger fish in here. Pretty much everything except the arowana, because I'm worried about jumping. But we just made it back from Port Charlotte, and we will be bringing everything through this window as shown earlier, and it will all be moved to this wall there. So for tonight, we're going to start building the stand, get everything pieced together the best we can, and we will go from there. So as you can see, we got the stand more or less built. I'll do some more reinforcement work. We have those 8 posts holding everything together. We have a piece there to keep it from blowing out. Same thing on the top. We have that filled. Fish are in that yellow bin that are going in this tank. The arowana is not going to go in here because of how short it is. I just finished resealing this tank, so he will be going up in here. His water is going to get transferred into it, of course, and then we will put the filter on the back, get all that worked out, get that filter put on this tank, and it'll just get cleaned up and all that good stuff. So this is the tank. I didn't really follow through with the build process that much because I got caught up in it and it became frustrating. So I just wanted to get it done as soon as possible, and I didn't have time to worry about the video. So that's that. Okay, we are back. We now have the fish in. We have a kwee there, a pleco right there, the peacock bass, and the bluegill. Everything else, the pacu, the jag, and the oscar up in this corner. They are very stressed. I can't say I blame them. They've been through a lot today. I hope they pull through. I think they will. We have the same filter, same heater running. I'm going to figure out a better canopy. Right now I have the edges where I think they would jump covered. I'll probably throw something else on there before I go to bed. But for tonight, that's going to be it for this tank. I will get everything transferred and do an update video tomorrow. Okay, everybody, it is day 2 of mega tank install. The tank, like I said last night, I'm not sure if I said it on video or not, isn't exactly what I want, but I'm gonna have to live with it. It's sort of growing on me today now that the fish are doing better. I was really stressed out about them last night, being them okay. They were worrying me. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with the arowana, but I figured everything out for the time being. Still to work out a better lid situation for everything. I'll show you what I got done last night, and I'll show you what my plans are for today. So the room is a mess just because I tore everything apart. These tanks need cleaned, of course, but I have a bin lid and some weights up there. The arowana is in that tank. So the last tank was a 65 gallon and it didn't have a lot of turning room for him. This is a 73. And as you can see, it's significantly wider and he can turn around easily. That will give me another couple months with him before I get something bigger. Added some water to these tanks, cleaned them up a bit. Right here I have glass panels. I have 3 of them. They're going to span the length of this tank. As you can see, water is in it, the fish are in it. The fish are a little pale coloration. You can see the jag doesn't have his colors. The pacu also is a little faded. The peacock bass is adjusting well. He's also a little stressed. And everything else is just getting used to the tank. But I got some brown gravel to put in here, and I got some hanging shop lights. So I'm going to take more 2x4s, just bolt them to the side. They don't need to hold a lot of weight. I might do it to the back also, I'm not 100% sure yet, and just hang them probably about there, or have the wood about there, and then hang them about that far off the surface. Like I said, I have glass. This piece here, I tried to straighten out the tank and seal with JB Weld. That piece popped off, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. I'm gonna keep the ratchet strap on for now and try to seal it up. But I'm just trying to get the tank situated and the fish comfortable. It's a big tank. I don't like how shallow it is, but for the time being, it's okay. Well, the only fish I'm really worried about being too big for there is the pacu. For now, he's fine. Once he gets to be 2 inches taller or so, I don't really care about length. It's more so height. He will probably also go in one of these big tanks, and I will move over these jag, cichlids, and oscars because they will do better in this tank. The only fish that never had an issue whatsoever with the transfer process were, of course, the hoblo catfish. They do not care at all. They seem to be happy with where they're at. So that's that. I'll keep you updated. I'll do an update once I get the lights and gravel in, and I'll show you what I'm working with. All right, guys, just a quick little update. I got the gravel in the tank. The fish are already doing much better. Before, they were trying to swim through the bottom because it was very clear. As you can see, some colors are coming back, especially on the jaguar. He's still a little faded, but it's coming back slowly but surely. I need to clean up some of the stuff on the glass. There's just some adhesive. Well, the fish are already calming down a little bit. I have hopefully enough structure. I don't love the plastic plants I put in. They don't look very natural. I'm hoping once some algae grows and I get some real light on it, it'll look better. I'm going to get some black paper potentially and put it on the back here, and we will go from there. And as you can see, the jag is already acting like himself again, establishing territory. Don't think it's a bad thing in such a long tank. We'll just see how it goes. I'm going to move the filter, I think. I don't like it in the center of the tank, but until I get a power head to circulate water the whole way through, I'm going to keep it where it is. But I think eventually I will move this over to this corner where it's not as easily seen, and I will get a power head over here, and I might run a intake tube from over here and then have the water circulating from that side of the tank and getting blown back this way. So just sort of to do a big circle so water doesn't sit in one area. I had to turn up the heater because the heater was not prepared for this kind of water. The water was a little cold, probably about 75. Now I'd assume it's around 78, which is ideal for right now. I'll crank it up a little more this summer. So that's the update. I will keep you posted as I build the light stand. All right, so we are back with the tank. We cut a piece of 2x4 that is exactly the length of the tank. That is just run between two 34-inch pieces of 2x4, so that is approximately 18 inches above the water. I have chains for the lights that allow it to hang 12 inches. So the highest the lights would be above the surface of the water would be 6 inches. I can bring it higher, or I can get a longer chain. I think this is about perfect right here. So we will go from there. We'll hang lights and see how it goes. I have some more help. Got Sam again, Anton, and Jacob. He's new. He's mostly here for moral support, and he's got a nice mustache. All right, and we are back for the final update of hopefully the day. As you can see, we got that framework put up. We have these lights. They're hanging all at the same level. Right now, they're just plugged into that same power strip. They're eventually going to be on a timer. This is just temporary till I can have time to clean everything up. Yeah, this is a tank under lights. The fish are a little surprised by lights. First they've seen in over 24 hours directly on them. They're still trying to figure out what's going on. As you can see, the Oscar's definitely stressed. The Jaguar is hiding behind him. They'll get used to it. They always do. They're just a little stunned. The Pacu is already figuring things out. He's exploring the tank now that he can finally see it, and he's not trying to swim down and hurt himself. Yeah, that's that. I'm gonna do some more reinforcing on the bottom just so it doesn't twist. And I'm sure you might be wondering why there's a ratchet strap on here. That is keeping the acrylic from blowing out, because acrylic is a soft, flexible material. If you look carefully down that line, you can see that's holding it together. And I tried to JB weld it with some acrylic sealant. It didn't hold because of just the amount of pressure. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of force to hold that together. I could do it with probably about 15 pounds of pressure. So what I'm going to do, you can see right here, it's drilled, and that would connect to the back. And same with right here in the center of these two. I would just pop this piece off, and also right here, and I would just get some threaded rods and hold that together. Of course, I'd have those steel beams going across the tank. I will paint them so they don't corrode, and I will just go from there. Once I get that done, I have glass pieces inside this plastic here that will fit perfectly to the size of the tank, and then I will have a canopy. I haven't cut around the filter yet. That's going to be a pain with the glass, but I think I can do it and figure it out. So that's the final update for the day. I'll probably get this on YouTube as soon as possible, and then once I have everything painted and cleaned up with the canopy, I'll do a quick little update video and let you guys know how it's going. All right, thanks for watching. It is now day 3 of this install. As you can see, the fish are looking much better. They're eating, they're getting more used to their surroundings, not very stressed at all, getting their colors back. They're just overall doing so much better. As for those supports, so there were some holes drilled already. I just got two 36-inch pieces of threaded rod and some nuts and some plastic washers. So those are on there and there. So I may replace these with those as well. This strut right there and the other one down there, both of those are attached, but this middle one is still giving me issues. So as you can see, I removed the ratchet strap, and I'm just trying to get this lined up so that I can use this self-tapping screw to run into there and hopefully cinch this together. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of force to move this acrylic, so hopefully I can get that pulled together if I get another extra set of hands. And as you can see, it's all slowly lining up. It just has that one bow in the middle right where I need that piece. So that's that. Okay, we got everything put together. We have the threaded rods in there. The glass canopy is now holding everything in place. As you can see, we're putting some tilapia fillets in there. The fish are eating, thankfully. Pacu doesn't have an issue. The peacock did just eat a piece. Jaguar doesn't seem to care. It's a big chunk. He'll get it down. And then right here, I used the self-tapping screw like I showed you earlier, but I also put some JB Weld epoxy on there, and as you can see, it's textured. That's because I used shavings from the acrylic that I drilled out to reinforce it and give it something to grab onto. So that's a perfectly good seam there, and it's been holding for the last 6 hours or so. So you can't complain about that.